Okay, so we are back. We've been back from our walk for a while now. I am getting ready to hop into the pool. No, I am not in active labor yet. My midwife just left and she checked me, and I am 3 centimeters dilated. So I went up a centimeter, which is good. Baby is tilted to the right side more, and so I need either stronger contractions to push the baby's head, force the baby's head to go straight, or do some side lying positions to kind of help the baby along. But she recommended that I get in the bath and relax so that my body's not tensing up when I'm having the contractions, and I can just let my body dilate without fighting the contractions. She showed me some techniques because she could hear a lot of in my throat me tensing up. So she showed me a lot of different techniques to like calm down and relax and breathe the baby down and focus my breathing, not from my stomach, but from my stomach into my groin, is the way she explained it. So I'm gonna try those techniques out, and they're filling up the tub right now, so it'll give us like a nice little test run before we have to use it for the baby. We are gonna empty it out before the night's over. If I don't go into labor. If I go into labor, we may have to empty some out and then replace it with hot water. But that's the plan. And then if I don't go into labor tonight, we will be doing extra acupuncture tomorrow morning. So, yeah, that's what's happening. That's where we're at. Nothing's really changed. 3 centimeters makes me feel a little better because it's not the same. That means that my body is doing something. So, yeah, I'm going to probably be hopping in the tub soon and just relaxing.
That's the only reason I invited him along, because this astrology stuff, that's our thing. Yeah, no, I'll talk to him.
I'm on day 3 of labor with baby number 5. I am 6 centimeters dilated. The baby's still high up and facing forward over top of my cervix instead of on top of my cervix. So I have to wear a belt to help, like a pregnancy belt, to help lift the baby's head up. So every time I have a contraction, it's pushing the baby's head back on top of my cervix, because I don't have enough pressure from the baby's head. It's stalling labor. So, yeah, I was contracting regularly for hours and hours and hours, and I almost thought I was getting to the point where I was getting ready to push, only for everything to just comes to a screeching halt, basically. I contract now like every once in a while by myself. They want me to do exercises to help things along, but we're just going to take a break right now and then start back up in the evening after we've had a chance to, rest and relax and build myself back up to it. It's been a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. And it just sucks that it's happening with baby number 5, because usually with the 5th one, they just slide right out. Not in my case. So we're going to relax. We just ate something. Ava's sleeping. Wally's in the shower. I had a shower this morning. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I napped for a really, really long time. We took all the water out of the birthing pool so that we can start with fresh water. She just wants to do a complete reset and pretend like we're starting out at 6 centimeters versus 5, which is what I was when she first arrived last night. So my cervix didn't make much change at all. When she was here, I dilated a whole centimeter. Like, all of that laboring and contracting, painful, strong contractions only led to 1 centimeter. It's hard not to feel a little defeated, but I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. It's 8:48 in the morning. We've been up since 7. The kids are still at my parents' house. My three of them, and Ava's here with us still. I had a half of a protein waffle, and just relaxing. I woke up this morning. Last night I was able to sleep, which was nice. My contractions kind of were like they weren't too intense to the point where I couldn't sleep. So I ended up sleeping quite a bit. Sometimes I'd have some that would wake me up and I would sit up and time them and then drift back off to sleep. So they're still not like steady like they were the day before. Not really sure what changed from now to then, but I'm up this morning and contractions are not regular. So yeah, I went to the bathroom this morning, like just thinking everything was normal. And I woke up to bloody show. So things are obviously changing, which is confusing how, because my contractions are intense, but I have to be at least a 7 now. Who knows? So my husband went to the store and we're going to make what's called midwife's brew. And again, this isn't me trying to induce labor because, I'm like the last time they checked me, I was 6 centimeters. I'm not going to call my midwives in until my contractions are consistent. So Wally cleaned the house yesterday and emptied out the pool, and then he filled it up again this morning just because it takes so long to fill up. He's got the pots of water ready to go, the crock pot with the washcloths for warm compresses, and everything's good to go. So we're just playing the waiting game. I'm not going to try to call anybody until I know for a fact that I'm ready to go. There's no reason for anybody to be here right now. I'm fine, which is weird. If I was in the hospital right now, they'd probably be pumping me full of Pitocin, and I would have had the baby by now. But doing it on my own, the same thing happened with Dominic, my youngest. And they gave me Pitocin. I had him like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like an hour and a half later. I was stalled at 5 centimeters all day from 7:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just wasn't progressing on my own, so they gave me Pitocin. Whereas here, I'm birthing at home, and everything's all natural remedies with the midwives, which was what I wanted. I didn't want any medical intervention. I just didn't want I didn't want anything to do with any of those medicines. And I had a bad experience with the epidural the last time I had one. So I'm fine being able to go about and do things naturally myself. My water has not broken, so there's no chance of infection. I feel fine. Baby's fine. We're still tracking the heartbeat with the fetal Doppler. Baby's moving and having a contraction. Hold on. I have to time him. So those ones I can breathe through. I can't talk through them, but I can breathe through them. The ones that are really bad are the ones that I can't talk through and I have to kind of moan breathe through. So they're still tolerable. But they're not regular. They're all over the place. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Day 4 of being in labor.
Here we are, day 4 of Shauna laboring. Thank you, Rooster. And I just figured I'd bring you guys out as I go through and do the animals quick. I don't like to leave her in the house too long by herself. Well, she's not really by herself. Ava's in there with her, but it's been a long few days. But even though we have that going on, we still got all these animals out here that need to get taken care of. So we're going to get them done and taken care of. And I got Miss Zoe with me. Get her used to everybody. But yeah, on a positive note, she's still doing good. Baby's good. Animal wise, the chickens have started laying again, which has been great. Of course, we had just gone to the grocery store and bought more eggs, and now the chickens are laying like crazy. Yesterday, didn't get it on camera, but I actually came out and we had 20 eggs, which is the most we've ever gotten. So now we're drowning in eggs, but that's a good problem to have. as we talked about before, we took the fence down around the ducks here, and they kind of free range. I come out at night and try to get them to go back in their coop. They don't really like to go in there. So if I can get some in there, I'll shut them up for the night. But if not, I just kind of let them do their thing. A lot of times we'll find them up in the kids' tree fort, roosting up there. But they seem to enjoy it a lot more, to be able to have a, just roam around and free range. But I always come out and do a head count, because right now we have 8 ducks. And normally I'll come out and count like 7. Get a little worried that one might have got taken away in the middle of the night, but they always end up coming back out. And normally they like to go right up in those pine trees there. They go right up under there and tuck up under there and just hang out. They haven't started laying yet. So that's one thing I'm getting a little worried about, is when they start laying, where are they going to lay their eggs? So I might end up, I do want to build a stationary duck house for them and stop using this chicken tractor, because we do have meat birds coming next week. So I got to get these chicken tractors buttoned up and freed up. And we also have some turkeys that we're going to, broad-breasted white turkeys that we're going to be processing. So yeah, I got to get their duck house made and get that situated. And I might end up putting some fence around them after all. I don't want to be running around and chasing them to try to find their eggs. But hopefully when I make that stationary house, they'll go in there to lay their eggs and there will be no issues. So we'll see how it goes. All right, every time I come out to do the animals, I try to keep bringing Miss Zoe here. Keep them introduced. She's still pretty skittish around the goats. Tries to run away from them, but they're very interested in her and want to play. So hopefully we can get them a little more acquainted and might make life go a little bit easier, because ultimately we do want her out here around them to protect them from predators that might come around. So it's very important in these early months, this puppy stage, that we get her introduced to all the animals, to know what is, here for her to protect and what's here for her to kind of chase out of here. All right, as I'm sure you guys noticed, I made this milking stand a while ago, and I finally got it out here. It's snowing now, but the past week or so we've had some pretty good weather, so I was able to finally get this out here, get it set up. I just want the girls to get acquainted with it, and so they jump up on there. I'll throw them some treats in here every once in a while, just to let them know that this is a place where they can come. There's only one issue. I made this, and that opening, which I figured that opening right there is way too big. Their head slips right out of it. So I kind of did this part on a whim real quick. So I'm going to take these off and clean them up, make them look a little bit nicer. Shauna was not too impressed with the old scrap wood that I used. She wants it to look a little better, which I get. But hey, I made it all out of stuff that we had laying around. So they jump up on there, jump off. I think I'm going to make them some stairs, because I don't like that they have to jump up that high. So I'll make them some stairs or a ramp so they can walk up and down it. But they're getting acquainted with it, and they're not afraid of it. So I figure they associate that with some treats. That's good. In other projects, I have cleared all that out there on the other side of this electric fence, which we will eventually open that up and expand the goats out to that. And I was able to move that old goat pen, took the fence down and ran it again up farther, and made that, partially finished that little hut up there. And that's going to be for our pigs that we're supposed to get at the end of April. So I'm looking forward to that. Eventually I want to run electric fence all the way out to the pines and back, so this whole area is opened up for the goats. I'll use that pen up there as like a little training spot, because I'm going to run hot wire in there so we can train our animals to the hot wire before we put them out on it. That's the goal. We'll see if it goes that way or not, because as I'm sure many of you know, a lot of things change when you try to do things a certain way. So, but we'll see how it goes. And now the sisters are back together.
But I have everything set up. The kids' pictures, The lights were beautiful at night. It would have been just so perfect if I could have went at night. I have my tarps right here for the couch. They told me to get 3 of them. Our towels are in that white bag right there. There's everything that the midwives will need, and I have some stuff on there for me postpartum. Bowl to catch the placenta, my ice bucket, which was like amazing. You get so hot. Everything's good to go. Just waiting on a little bit more progression. And I guess we'll be back when we're in active labor. So I just got off the phone with my midwife, and she told me that I don't have to time my contractions anymore, which is nice. Just to kind of relax, since, you know, everything's normal. I'm healthy. You know, you're young and healthy, baby's healthy. Everything's good. My water didn't break, so I'm not, you know, at risk for infection, like I said before. She's like, let's just take it easy and let your body just run the show. So, and she didn't want me to be too consumed by like the number, you know, the amount of time of with the contractions and get discouraged. So she's like, just take the day just to let your body do its thing. And she's going to be in contact with me throughout the day, in the evening. So that takes a lot of pressure off. I'm still going to do the midwife's brew just because I'm just ready. And Wally's supposed to go to work tomorrow, and I don't think he's going to feel comfortable going to work tomorrow while I'm in labor. So we got to figure something out. But I think I'm going to do the midwife's brew and then just relax throughout the day today.